About you, but through Christ I can do all. Stand up tall with my left foot, post up on the wall. Easy if we fall in the streets, life can get hard. Streets used to be a lot different from what man recall. Me a aim for my post like a soccer ball. Feel run the road that don't need a map at all. Babylon them want to hold me with a strap at all. But man a liar, me no Cancer nor Capricorn.
Though they want to see me fall, I'm gonna be okay. Though my back's against the wall, I'm gonna be okay. They fighting me now, I'm gonna be okay. Jehovah eyes are watching me now, I'm gonna be okay.
Welcome to Hope in the Six. I'm your host, Eddie Martinez, and today we have a special guest, Tyler Murphy. Welcome.
Thank
Blessing.
you.
Let the people know who you are and your story.
Hi, my name is Tyler Murphy. Today I'm a licensed paralegal. I work in the legal industry with a prominent law firm. However, I do have a criminal record and grew up pretty much in the street for most of my young adult life until I got older and took many steps to turn my life around, overcome many obstacles to get where I am today.
Right, so today we're going to talk about, today's topic show is called Legal Ties, from illegal to paralegal. Big accomplishment. Let's go to this video. We'll be back. Hope in the Six.
I'm here today to be saved. I want to be redeemed.
Yes.
I'm looking for redemption.
Yes.
I want my new life.
Yes.
I've been to hell. I've seen what Satan has to offer, and I don't want no part of it.
Amen. I have been to hell. I've seen what the devil has to offer. I don't want no part of it. We should sing goodbye word. Mama.
Big things. So I want to know what led you to that point to, change your life around.
It's definitely been a long road. I was very entrenched in the criminal lifestyle since young teenager, all throughout kind of high school age. I didn't go to high school, but from about 14 until 25, in and out of prison, minor offenses. So I got, jail. When I got older, I got charged with some more serious offenses like trafficking and firearms and things like that, and I started getting into the now years sentencing. And really after having my son and meeting my wife was when the transition started.
Yes.
Just kind of having somebody to believe in me and show me different things that I wasn't really aware of like going to school and the path to get there and things like that with only a grade 8 education. It's been a long road. I went back to school. I went to do a paralegal program at a recognized college in Ontario. Then wrote the exam with the Law Society and passed. And then due to my record, I have to do a good character hearing. So I went through the investigation process, which took about 2 years, to finally get to my hearing stage, where I represented myself at the hearing in front of 3 judges in 2015, and was granted my paralegal license. And I just wanted to take it one step further and commit my faith to the Lord, and just to kind of wash away my sins and cleanse myself of my old life and redeem myself into my new life. And my son was also baptized the same day, so I wanted to show him that I wanted to take that walk with him.
Example, actually. Be an example, saying, hey, change your life. That's awesome. So faith now, when did you feel, like, what made you, like, so I need faith, I need something beyond yourself, like, because a lot of people just trust in themselves and rely on, like, it's just, I could do this, I can't do this, or what make you feel like, hey, I need something beyond me to guide me?
I always felt that way too. I can do it myself. I didn't need faith. I wasn't really, I grew up Catholic, but we would kind of go on church or Easter, things like that. We weren't every Sunday type of thing. And throughout my teenage years, I wasn't in church at all. But when I would find myself in a cell or going up for a bail hearing, I would always be picking up a Bible and reading some Psalms and verses. So it was only at my darkest days where I would find myself, that's who I was looking to for help. And now, after transitioning out of it, being out of that life for years, it really was my wife and her family. They're a Christian family, they're big in the church. My wife has been singing in the church for her whole life. And so it was them that helped bring me to church. I was more like a spectator for the first 5 years, 6 years. I would go, I would participate, but I wasn't baptized. And it was just getting to the point where I realized I didn't do this on my own. It wasn't by my grace, it was by the grace of God that I've even got to this point today, that I'm not dead or I'm not facing a life sentence or something like that. So I wanted to commit myself to that and just take that leap of faith and also show my son.
Some people think it's being soft to rely on, you know what I mean, something external, you know what I'm saying, like, oh, I believe in God. But a lot of people in their darkest moment, as you said, now they turn to faith. I know a lot of guys that I visit, you know, I just went to visit one of my friends. I call them friends. I can't, you know, that client stuff is so not
and that's a new term.
But they're my friends, you know, family for the most part. I call them family. I visit one of the fam, and he's Muslim, and I seen this thing on his head, and I was like, yo, you Muslim? He's like, yeah, I picked up the Quran, and I was reading, and I'm just like happy, you know what I'm saying? Though I'm a Christian, just to find out, you know, people need faith, man. You need faith beyond yourself, you know what I'm saying? And just to find out he's making a step to just change. I'm proud of that, and shouts out to all the chaplains and all those programs. That is Hope in the Six when they out in the jails and the prisons.
Definitely.
Giving them something to hope for, because a lot of people give up. Like, yo, I'm just a loser. I'm a mess. Nothing could be changed. But that hope, that word, that preaching, that faith, it builds you up, and you need it. Like, I want to come back to something else. You mentioned your wife. Faith is one thing, you know what I'm saying, and then and physical people to be there for you. She was there throughout your duration of your incarceration.
Yes. From before it, through it, after it. I definitely believe it took somebody else believing in me.
Right.
I don't think I would have made the transition myself.
Right.
From when we met, I can't remember. When we met, I had been out of school for years, 13 years or something. I had a grade 8 education. And I remember initially she was impressed with my writing. Through text message and communicate. Because we met total strangers. We have no mutual friends. We met like in a restaurant or like bar, and we had no mutual friends. We just kind of saw each other and began speaking, and things escalated from there. But she was impressed that my grammar was good, my spelling was good. For someone that didn't have this education. She was always chipping away at me. Back then it would be like, why don't you go back to school? And I was just kind of like, that's not for me. Like, you know, I'm kind of deep in this life. And when somebody's making a lot of money, they don't really care to change or think about something else. And so I would always just kind of blow her off, like, that's not for me. You know, if you find me a job or if one of school is going to make the kind of money I'm making now, then I'll listen to it. But until then, I'm not. And eventually, after she stood by me, and she's been there through the ups, the downs, in and out of incarceration, and she really stood by my side. She's the one who let me know about the Ontario student loan program.
Right.
I always had this assumption that you have to have good credit or
Right.
some type of background that wasn't available to me.
That's very beautiful. I want to shout out to all the ladies that are holding their men down that are locked up, because it's a hard thing to do.
Definitely.
Shout out to Stephanie. Lamar Skeet been locked up for some years now, and she's been holding him down. And as he called me every now and then, I just see the love and I see the connection. A man, when you're locked up, you definitely need a strong woman behind you, because they're going through something. You understand? Whether guilty or not, just being in that situation, you put them in that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're not guilty, of course you didn't do it on purpose. But just the fact that you're in jail, somebody got to be making visits, trips back and forth. I have numerous clients that they're in that situation, but not all of them. The women hold them down. You know what I'm saying? At a certain point, they can't take it no more. They move on. Somebody's out free. Want to talk to them. So shouts out to all the women that are doing that. This is so powerful. We're talking about reducing recidivism, coming back to society, and getting on your feet. When I look at you, man, this is impressive. You know what I'm saying? Because if I should just see you alone, I wouldn't think of it, no criminal. You see what I'm saying? So these are the things we want to train individuals how to present themselves. And one thing I do know about Canada, coming from the U.S., is the articulation. 'Cause I know a lot of thugs and whatever gangsters, that would, so quote unquote, right? And majority don't know how to articulate themselves.
Yep.
In America, you could tell because they can't articulate themselves as well. They will just talk bad jargon, bad slang. I mean, just the way they talk is like, you could tell their education. But here, so many people, I'm like, you gangster, you sound so articulate.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? So that is an advantage.
You need to be able to switch up your vocabulary based on who you're speaking to, and it is definitely. You see me in the suit and you automatically assume something, and I call this is my disguise.
Right.
I put on my disguise and I go to work, and I do change the way I talk and the way I speak and the way I interact with people.
Well, you have to.
That's what's allowed me to get to this stage right now, to where I have an accreditation that's respected within certain industries, or just it shows that I took the initiative to get this far, to become licensed paralegal. People give you respect just based on that, but I had to change how I present myself.
Right. So we got to go to a break, but we'll be back after these few messages. Hoping it's 6.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
At Benjamin Law, we understand the real cost of personal injuries. As the victim of an accident, you may be the one who's physically hurt, but your main concern is that your family are the ones who will pay the price. Benjamin Law will be there for you, helping, supporting, and working tirelessly to resolve your personal injury case. Call 1-855-899-4878 or visit benjaminlaw.ca and let our family of lawyers help your family.
Being in custody and with grade 8 education, looking towards my future, and like I had made the decision out. My girlfriend had let me know that you can go to college as a mature student. There was no programming in the prisons telling me this, or there was nothing set up for it. So she would mail me course books from Centennial College, Seneca College, all the George Brown, everything that was around. She went and got all the course books. She took 2 copies. So I would sit on the phone with 1 copy, she would sit with 1.
Wow.
And we would go over it, saying, basically I had to start with what can you do with a criminal record. Because I don't want to waste time doing a program where it's leading to something I can't do, right? So initially I had found this property administration program that I signed up for, where you go assessing properties. Because at the time, you can only work for one company in Ontario called MPAC. And they weren't doing background checks. I initially started in that program. And during the 2nd semester, they changed their hiring process. They're doing background checks now. So I'm stuck.
I'm already in this program.
Yeah.
What do I do now?
Yeah.
What do I have experience with? Court. I've been in and out of court, in and out of the justice system from a young adult, like many times. So
Right.
you know what, I look into that, and it's not no. If you have a record, you can't be a paralegal. You can't be a lawyer. You just have an extra hurdle to prove you're now of good character.
Yeah.
So I went into the paralegal program. I graduated the paralegal program, and then did a 2-year investigation with the Law Society.
Wow.
Where they dug deep into my past. They wanted police records, police notes. I had to write like a 10-page essay of addressing every charge I ever had.
Yeah.
I represented myself at a hearing in front of 3 judges at the Law Society, and I was granted my paralegal license.
Wow. And you were raised you born in Toronto?
Yeah.
Wow. What part of the city did you live in?
I grew up in Mississauga, and I've been all over the city though. I've lived in Oakville, downtown, up north. I'm in Scarborough now. I've been out there about 10 years.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Hope in the Six. I'm your host, Eddie Martinez, and today we have Tyler Murphy. Today's topic is legal ties from illegal to paralegal. So that's a big transition. And what was you talked about schooling and stuff like that. You know, your girlfriend at the time before she became your wife.
Yes.
Introducing you to those things. How hard was it though? That's what I really want to know.
It is hard. To come out of that type of lifestyle and get into a school environment was definitely a big transition. I was released, I believe it was November, and I started full-time school the next January. And I went straight for 3 years, and it was a huge transition. Just learning how real society works. Violence is not an answer to people that upset you. I had to do group work with conflicting interests or people I didn't get along with, and just finding ways to do that. Connecting with other students, learning how to study, learning how to use a computer. I didn't really know how to use a computer.
Right.
It's hard to come from such a criminal lifestyle, not just I've gotten in trouble before. That was my daily life.
Right.
Every day was just, everything I was doing was bad. My whole life was just entrenched in selling drugs, protecting what I have, trying to make the most money I can the fastest way. And also, you need to have this type of reputation as if, like, no one can come take your stuff.
Right. Can we get some photos up? Because I know some people probably look at this guy and say, man, he's well-groomed and he wasn't no gangster. He wasn't no thug. I want to show them, yes. Show them how real it is. Yeah, let's show them all the pictures. We're going to get it, let them see. Bop, bop, bop. Yeah. All right. There we go.
Definitely a transition. Like, I mean, even the concept that you can now be represented in court by somebody you maybe used to buy drugs from.
Right.
It's real. I'm here today.
That's a living testimony.
I'm a licensed paralegal. And everything is on the table with my employer, with the Law Society, which is what allows me to come and speak on this today.
And the good thing is now, because you're being successful in reintegrating and working for a reputable organization and stuff like that, now that probably opened up a opportunity for others, you know?
Definitely. So my case with the Law Society is now case law. So others in a similar situation coming up behind me with a criminal record looking to get into the legal field, whether it's a lawyer or a paralegal, you can refer to my case if it's similar to yours about how maybe somebody who does have firearm charges or trafficking charges, you're not excluded.
Right.
And you may be excluded from many different professions just based on that, or maybe you're not bondable, but you can be a lawyer, you can be a paralegal. I was able to use all my experience as an offender in the box inside of court, and just the amount of time I spent in court watching the way things move. I was able to successfully navigate through, like, my paralegal placement. You have to do 100 or 200 hours of placement I did with a criminal lawyer, and my reference letter from them when I left was that I was the most competent student that they had ever came across.
That's right.
The way I was able to navigate the courts.
Right.
They never knew. I was never asked. I never told about my record, and they were just really impressed with the way I was able to navigate the courtroom and speak to the Crown attorneys and things like that. So I was able to use that experience for a positive.
The harsh reality of this, though, some people, when they hear that, because say you're working, because I had a few guys, couple, that a guy working in the company, he was working for BMW, and then he got promoted. But when his record came back, they just fired him immediately. They didn't consider they didn't consider how good he was You know what I'm saying? So, like, you're not saying no ask, no tell stuff is good. It will allow you to move to that next level. But when there's a situation where now you're in a situation where you're asked or you have to tell or a record will come back, now they will judge you by that record. And that's the unfortunate thing, because they should judge you by, listen, this guy's good. Yeah. You understand? But some people will fight and say, no, man, this guy is good. You know, there's a show, series called Suits. And the guy became a lawyer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
One, yeah.
But that guy had to fight for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, and he fought for him because he didn't. But he, you know, so there's a situation like that. But most cases, people won't fight for you. People won't. But if you got somebody to believe in you,
in my case, it was the recruiter,
the
HR guy that first came across my resume and gave me the call back. It was him. He took a chance. He definitely did. So throughout my speaking with him and getting into it, I had told him, I have a record. I do have a criminal record. And his initial response, because we had already spoke, we kind of built up a rapport before I dropped that bomb on him. And he was like, well, kind of what is it? And I explained it, but he's like, oh, well, you know what? People change.
So let's talk about that record. What is that record? What you got caught up for?
Break and enters from small, like right after turning 18. I have a small young offender record. Break and enter, theft, robbery, trafficking, possession, and then as I progressed older, the last 2 times I was charged were more serious. Possession for the purpose of trafficking while carrying a handgun, loaded firearm, and then in the end it was forcible confinement, unauthorized use of a firearm during an indictable offense.
That's a lot. That's a lot. So somebody. Wow, because people with way smaller records still won't get a chance. But for that, now that's a lot. Like trafficking, firearms, confinement. That says you were a bad guy. You understand what I'm saying? And people, why should society give you a chance? Like almost in a parole hearing. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
Why should society say, hey, this guy, he could reintegrate properly and he will not commit crime again? You know?
I had to prove that. I had many references. I made great contacts with a lot of my teachers throughout the program. Actually, one of my teachers came as a character witness to my hearing, and she was also a lawyer. Her guidance and her assistance and her advice to me was invaluable. She really helped me, and her letter of recommendation as a lawyer to the Law Society and to come and show up and speak for me, it spoke volumes.
Oh yeah.
I did a lot of volunteering. I got donations from my company to send back to some of the organizations I was volunteering with. I was just doing whatever I could to show this is real. I was speaking to kids at schools and anywhere I could. But then it got to the point where I used to work for another previous law firm where they didn't know. They didn't ask, I didn't tell. I would never come and speak like this. I couldn't because I was worried about that. Yeah, I worked good and I was like a well-liked employee and I had a really good relationship with my boss, but that was always the skeleton in the closet hanging over me was that they don't know. And like you said, a promotion could come up and or they decide to, you know what, we're going to run a background check on all our employees. I don't know what would have happened. So I was so reluctant to ever share my story or be public with it.
I have a previous guest, Joseph Gramosic. He similar situation because he did insider trading. So he said he had to switch up his name a little bit because you could Google it. Because right now we go to training for like those that are we're trying to get jobs for people that have criminal records and they Google your name now, right? So that's a modern way now. So if you have anything, and in the training class that I was taking recently, they were saying like if you should Google your own name and see some bad stuff, now we have to create another some other stuff on social media that your name you'll pop up and it can show you doing good. You had something like that?
No. Fortunately for me, things that I recall for weren't broadcast in the news and things like that. So other than like my case, you can find out if you're searching through legal precedents, you can find my case, but my name doesn't pop up with a bunch of criminality that's been in the news. So I've been very fortunate in that sense.
Well, that's a blessing. But a lot of these guys, man, I work with so many people, and it's like when I look on the news, a lot of times it's guys that I work with. You know, like oh man, you know what I mean? Because they pop up. So these guys like you could see, put their name in, boom, 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 boom. So that is a deter. Like Anybody Google your name, employers, they definitely not gonna hire you. Seeing you, you know what I mean? They got video footage of this guy running and doing some crazy stuff. So you really have to make it up, but it's possible. So I'm not trying to burst the dreams. But we gotta go to break. We'll be back after this short messages. Open to 6.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
At Benjamin Law, we understand the real cost of personal injuries. As the victim of an accident, you may be the one who's physically hurt, but your main concern is that your family are the ones who will pay the price. Benjamin Law will be there for you, helping, supporting, and working tirelessly to resolve your personal injury case. Call 1-855-899-4878 or visit benjaminlaw.ca and let our family of lawyers help your family.
Welcome back to Hope in the 6. Legal ties is today's subject of discussion. From illegal to paralegal. Right now I'm going to go into a portion of this broadcasting where I read letters. Either I read letters from inmates to me, you know, that I've been working with, or I read a news article from the jail. It's for prisoners, ex-prisoners, and their families. It's called Cell Count. So this today I have so much issues by them. They gave me a few issues, and I'll just read random parts of articles, poetry, different things, right? So now I'm going to read one. This is it's kind of old, but it doesn't matter. It's the voice of the people that's inside. This is by John Rusa. Pete Collins died on August 13, 2015 in the palliative care unit at Millhaven after a long and agonizing battle with cancer. He had requested a compassionate release so that he could spend his last days with his families. But the prison and the parole board chose to make him and the people who he loved suffer unto the bitter end. Pete served 32 years of a life 25 prison sentence he received for killing Constable David Utman in 1983. Although he was painfully aware that he could never make up for having taken a life, Pete spent the bitter part of the last 3 decades trying to make amends for the harm and suffering he caused through his actions. And he exemplifies the human capacity for change. So now this is this is a harsh one. This is a hard one, right? Mm-hmm. Because if he killed a constable, they kind of say, they hold it over his life forever.
Forever, yeah.
But if he's doing a life sentence, like you never coming out, and there's a plea, he's dying of cancer, there should be some consideration of his family, right?
I agree.
But in the article said he showed a capacity for change because he tried to make amends. You talked about being locked up and making amends, speaking at engagements and connecting with people to show, that you have changed. Mm-hmm. So that is a hard call, but I still, if it's just a visit, like you're not going nowhere. Mm-hmm. Let your family see you. So these are the things that that draws a great concern to me. We're trying to make a difference in society. We're trying to we're trying to decriminalize. We're trying to humanize those that have done wrong. You know what I mean? What are the steps are we taking to now build that individual? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you did wrong, but let's show compassion. What do you think about that?
I definitely feel that story. I had an uncle pass away while I was incarcerated, and I tried to put in for a temporary, I believe it's called TAP. I can't remember what it was called. Where you get an escort to the, not to the funeral, but to the viewing.
Yes.
Because he was being cremated, I couldn't go. And I hadn't seen him for years, and he died. I think he was about 42 or between 42 or 45 when he died of alcoholism. And I hadn't seen him for years, and I didn't get to see him off because I was incarcerated.
So how did that make you feel? Like, what did that do for you emotionally at that time?
It was sad. It was. I was upset with myself. I hadn't even spoke to my dad, which is his brother, for years. It had been like 10 years at this time, and just to hear that my uncle had passed and I wasn't able to make it due to the position I had myself in at the time. It wasn't enough to make me turn my life around at that time.
Right.
But looking back, it was definitely, it was sad having to be withheld from going to my uncle's funeral because I was incarcerated.
Right. So even because the families, they're suffering too. You know, that's why I do want to make known to those that are out there, career criminals, or first stages or early stages criminal, to think about your families. Think about the people that, because they suffer. They suffer too. You know what I'm saying? So
definitely.
Yeah. How they go. Working as an officer, because I started off my career, I was a detention officer for a little bit. Then I actually became a deputy sheriff, before I found this. Are you scared? Right? You can't judge me because I'm not judging you. That's what it's about. So I've been, but it's a reality, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And because I had that experience, of course, a lot of the youth that I work with, when I found out, I told them, of course, it broke their heart. Oh my God, not you. But I'm like, listen, ain't I the same person?
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, that's the same thing though. Aren't you like you want to show the world that you change and you're the good. So it's both ends we are judging. But with this situation, it doesn't help the correctional facility because people don't have faith in it. You see what I'm saying? So they can now, so people like him or people that's close to him, even cellmates or whatever, they're like, yo, the system is messed up. And people have a hatred for the system. So then they are never going to really try to change up because they like, F the system, beat the system, you know what I mean? Have negative things to say about the system. But if we're talking about a correctional facility, a correctional institution, we have to now make people have a desire to see this institution in the light of what the title. You know what I'm saying? That hey, no, the system is good. They're trying to help me. I messed up. I did murder. I did rape. I did whatever it is. Because at the end of the day, people are going to serve their sentence and come back to society. So we have to figure something. You know what I mean? We don't have all the answers, but we need to have a clear conversation. Definitely. So now let's drive into this. But I want to commend you for your resilience, man.
Thank you.
That's very impressive, you know what I mean? Because like I said, looking at you like, you know what I mean? Like looking at me, because a lot of people wouldn't know that I used to be a police. You know what I'm saying? I used to work and I had my badge in my wallet and I'm regular clothes. I'll go to like the mechanic or wherever, it's a public place, and sometimes if I pull out my wallet, my badge will flash. And some of these guys like, oh shoot, like jumping, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So you can't judge a book by its cover.
No, and if we want to touch on what you said about how it affects the family too, it does. We all get so selfish. We get very selfish in that lifestyle. We're just concerned about, for me it was always money motivated. It was always about the money. If the risk was there, if the money was worth it, I would take the risk. I didn't really consider anything else other than my feelings. So the last time I went away was for something I did before my son was conceived. I had gotten charged, sat down for a few months, ended up going to Superior Court to get bail. My son was conceived while I was out on bail, and I was under the impression this whole time I thought it was going to beat the charges and we're going to go to a preliminary hearing, and things didn't go that way.
Right.
So I ended up taking a plea to another year after my son was born, and having to go away as I have a small child and a daughter that's, gosh, how old was she at the time? 5, 6. It was terrible for something that I wasn't even considering before, and having to see my kids through glass was terrible. I remember my daughter would ask, so she would see me in the orange jumpsuit, and ask like, well, how come I'm not coming home? What am I doing? I told her I'm doing construction work. You see this building we're in? I'm building it. And eventually, after I got sentenced, I was now sent over to the corrections side, where I was able to work in the kitchen. And they came to visit me one day while I was working in the kitchen, and now I'm wearing white. And she's like, "What? How come you're wearing white now?" So instantly I just came up with, well, I'm done building it, now I'm painting it. You see, painters wear white.
Right.
So now she's a teenager now, she's 60 years old, beautiful girl. I have nothing bad to say about her, I wouldn't change a thing. She has now remembered, and about a year ago had asked me, that was jail, wasn't it?
Right.
And so she has memories of it, and memories of me being away, and I guess of mom being stressed out and things like that. So I left a huge burden on my family, and you have to consider others.
That's right. That's a bigger thing that we fail to do. We look at the immediacy of the situation, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I got beef with you, so I gotta get you.
Yeah.
But you don't know that I'm harming you. You got a kid.
Yeah.
You got family that love you, and I put them all in harm's way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So these and the person that doing that too, he have a family too. Because you have some family coming to court and they so ashamed of what their child done.
Yes.
You know, one of my guys that his family member couldn't come to because they're like, nah, you know, it's embarrassing. You know what I mean? And the individual said, listen, like. He spoke for himself. He said, I'm sorry, you know, I'm at a bad place, but I'm on my own. Look, my family not even here. It's just me. You know, I was there too, but, you know what I mean? It's like he didn't have a lot of support. You know what I'm saying? So, because you put them through stuff, and sometimes they can't bear it. You know what I mean? Imagine you say, oh, your son or your daughter is in there for murder. Like, you know what I'm saying? You want to support them, but then again, you're like, man, you killed somebody, and I got to look at those family, because now they got to face the family too. Like, so you are putting people in hard predicaments. I want people to think about that. But we're not at the end of the world. Like, you made a change, so it's possible. I want to talk about the hope that is there. You have people that you're connecting with. There are people out there. You said you're the lawyer lady, right? You had a lot of people that were like supporting. She showed up to your parole hearing and spoke for you.
Yes.
So I want to tell the young people to connect with those people. What would you say in addition?
Network with people from a different lifestyle. It was hard to, even now, it's hard for me to trust. It's hard for me to make new friends, coming from being so skeptical of everybody. I didn't trust anybody. If I saw somebody I knew that saw me pulling into my building, I'd move. Like, I was so always trying to stay one step ahead that I'm still now not there yet, where I'm just comfortable. I'm still very, it's hard to make this transition. It's hard to see yourself as an equal to a lawyer or a doctor, or they're no different. They're no different than us. We have a lot of transitional skills that we've learned. Like, I went to college as a mature student with a grade 8 education. I was terrible in the math, like algebra and anything with the numbers. But my financial math classes, I was getting A's and A pluses. These are transferable skills we're learning.
From
if
the
you know,
streets.
If you know there's 1,000 grams in the kilo and there's 28 in the ounce.
Basic math,
you know exactly. If you're doing math. You're doing math, and you're marketing. You're doing things like these are transferable skills that can be brought into a legit role.
We're going to continue to talk about transferable skills after the break. Hope in the 6.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
At Benjamin Law, we understand the real cost of personal injuries. As the victim of an accident, you may be the one who's physically hurt, but your main concern is that your family are the ones who will pay the price. Benjamin Law will be there for you, helping, supporting, and working tirelessly to resolve your personal injury case. Call 1-855-899-4878 or visit benjaminlaw.ca and let our family of lawyers help your family.
Welcome back to Hope in the 6. I'm your host, Eddie Martinez, and today we got Tyler Murphy. Blessings. Yes. Legal ties from illegal to paralegal. Powerful. Before the break, we were talking about transferable skills.
Yes.
I want to talk about that because a lot of guys that get locked up, they're so skillful in things. And if we could now capitalize on that, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we try to force people to do certain things where they're not good at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got a guy that we say we got construction jobs for him because he have a record, so he got to do construction. But he's not savvy. He's not good with the hands. So I put him in a job. He won't last past 3 months, if even so.
Yeah.
So let's talk about transferable skills.
Definitely. So we have them. It's so hard to, if you have no education, you've just been selling drugs your whole life, you've been doing the whole street life thing, and that's all you know. But you have them. You have to dig deep and find them. Like you said, a lot of people are coming out with a record, no previous work history. How do you build a resume?
Right.
What do you put on your resume?
Right. So yeah.
Marketing, or if it's maybe you can speak well, public speaking. Go take a few classes for our Toastmaster or something like that. Work on your speaking. Maybe if you're a good hustler, you know how to talk.
Right.
You know what I mean? So those are persuasive skills. Your persuasive writing, persuasive talking.
Right. I spoke with some people from Tropicana. The center in Scarborough. They brought out a bunch of youth. You know, and I was talking to them like transferable skills. I'm like, some of you guys on your phone all day, texting, all that. You know what I mean? You could find something in marketing, promoting. You know what I mean? There's so much now, because society has advanced so much that we got something to contribute now. Before it was like, you know, certain things you only limited, but now you could pick up your phone, you can make videos. I got a guy that he just uses his phone his phone is advanced, and he uses it to take pictures.
Editing, videography, you can do it all from your phone. You can, and there's a lot of people that those type of jobs, maybe people would look past a criminal record. If you're a great editor and somebody wants a video from you, they don't really care what your background is. They just want your product. So you can also do it for yourself. Be an entrepreneur. Right. You don't always have to work for somebody, but you can.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? If you're a good videographer and you go out, you're shooting music videos or just content for people on their social media platforms. If you're a good photographer, no one's really worried about your background. They just kind of want your product. They're not giving that same commitment as like hiring you as an employee, and they're responsible for you and what you do with other employees. You can create your own lane.
Right. At this time, we're going to go over to a segment called Bars for Bars. This is where now those that are on the outside, we talked about the letters and the article from inside. Yeah. So that's giving the guys on the inside a voice. But those who are on the outside, they would do a poem, a rap, or a song. Bars for Bars, like stay woke, keep your head up, like encourage it. So we're going to go to Jason Fresh, Bars for Bars.
What's going on, everybody? This is Jason Fresh, part of the Hope Team. This is Bars for Bars, and we got Glows.
I am an artist. I am an artist. That means that, yes, I will have doubts. Not believing my words will be enough. There'll be times I look at others and compare, feeling humbled and disappointed, wanting to give up. I am an artist. That means that I've accepted a turbulent but fruitful journey to self-acceptance, becoming vulnerable in society with two faces that support with backlash, having to eat misconceptions and assumptions served up front, digesting the truth while throwing all the lies out. I am an artist, but I'm also human, trying to act on perfection when reality strikes as a harsh reminder that paradise is only a mirage in the desert. I am an artist, but I'm also a mother. My children I will feed. So mama, don't worry, we won't go hungry, cause I am provided with my art. I am an artist, and I know I am an artist. That means that my words will dance and illuminate as ribbons of love encircling the distressed and abandoned. For these tales of truth breathe joy and hope into the lungs that grow tired from crying. I am an artist. The flaws may be ingrained from birth, doesn't mean I won't gradually evolve. A child by nature fiercely protecting the essence, so corruption won't enter nor crawl. Stories are extraordinary jewels to adorn and connect misinterpreted outcasts. As we find healing side by side, if I rediscover forgiveness and seek self-forgiveness, replenishing peace to quench my aching heart. I am an artist.
Hope in the Six. Shout out to Glows, Jason Fresh. It's so good to see everybody. You know, the show is about bringing everybody together. You know what I'm saying? We're all a community. You know what I mean? I'm on a whole, because of course multiple communities, but everybody's doing something, and they need to be highlighted, because so many times we have negative press and media talking about this person getting shot. How about this guy got a job? How about you? You know what I'm saying? Let's show positivity and feed that in, because what seeing is believing. You know what I'm saying? So now you bringing hope by people seeing you, hearing your story, and saying, yeah, he's a street dude. I don't know that. Like, oh, yeah, he was. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So what would you say to now the younger you out there? Like, if you was able to talk to the younger you, because I made some mistakes in my life, and I wish I could go back, but I lost those times. You know, what would you say to the younger you, or those that are coming in that same lifestyle?
I would say start the transition from now, because the path is, I mean, the money might be good at the moment and you feel like you're gonna make it rich. I mean, it's hard to stop 18-year-old kid making $10,000-$15,000 a week. It's hard to tell him to stop. It's hard. You feel like you're on top of the world. That sense of power you have. If you have a gun on you, you feel like nobody can do anything to you. It's such a false sense of power and belonging.
Yes.
And it can just get taken away from you at any moment. And there's nothing wrong with living the legit life. I mean, I like the fact that I don't always have to be like driving in my rear view and doing 100 U-turns, and switching cars, moving houses, doing everything I would have to do to kind of try and stay one step ahead. That you can do it, and there's nothing wrong with it. You have to make your mind up. Don't care what anybody else thinks.
Somebody say, "Oh, you soft because you try." I
heard that. I will never forget a conversation I had with a few of my friends when I was telling them about I'm gonna go out into the paralegal program. Like, I had to wait like 5 minutes for them to stop laughing.
Right.
And the one guy was telling me a story about a girl that he used to talk to that had a small criminal record, and it was like, it was crazy. She wasn't able to do it. She didn't. I don't know if she completed it and went through the hearing and everything, but they made it seem like it was impossible and it was a big joke.
Right.
And like, yeah, right, I'm never going to be able to become a paralegal. And you can. Don't listen to what anybody else says. You're going to hear, or you feel nice now, you turn your back on us, or you feel better than people now. That's, you know what? My son, my family, my daughter, my wife, they come first.
Yes.
They come first. I don't care what anybody else feels. And the other thing is, you have to exit with your head held high. If you know you're done with that life, don't continue to do crimes and start telling on your friends when you get caught.
Right.
Because that's what happens a lot. People get sick of doing time. They can't do the time, or they have a rough life in jail. And they don't want to go back, but they continue in this lifestyle. And they get caught again, and now they start ratting out people.
Right.
That's not an option. You need to exit. Do your time. If you're into that lifestyle, then you suck it up and you take your time. You don't tell on anybody. And you make that transition on your own afterwards. Who cares what anybody has to say? I don't have those skeletons following me around. I probably have some people that are upset with me and think like, oh, I have really close friends that I haven't spoke to for years. During this process of trying to become a licensed paralegal, I couldn't associate with people.
Of course not, because it did take away, right?
Of course. Like, your criminal record, what you convicted for is one thing. But they also have another record that they're following you. Once you've been like on the police intelligence type of level, on their radar, they're keeping track of who you pulled over with, anytime you ever get pulled over, it gets sent to the Intelligence Bureau for them to keep this file on you. And so I had to just remove myself from everybody and keeping tabs on them kind of from afar. A lot of them are still up to the same stuff.
Right.
In and out of jail still, on drugs. I have a lot of friends that we used to hustle with, and now they're on drugs.
Definitely. that's how the cycle goes.
Crazy.
That's the cycle. There's a saying that says, show me your friends, I'll tell you who you are. So now if you want to be successful, and it's probably like, I mean, everything there's an exception to the rule. Right? So I won't just like put it like a blanket statement. But you want to be around people that are productive.
Yes.
Don't you want to? If you want to be productive, you want to be around people that's productive, right? Yeah. So if I'm not a gangster, but I'm from the hood and my friends are gangster and I'm hanging around them, people gonna look at me like that. Even if I go home and do my own thing, you know what I'm saying? Guilty by association.
Yeah, and even a lot of people you don't know who and what are under an investigation.
Right.
Even just my phone number being on their phone, talking to them a certain amount of time, you get pulled into the investigation now.
And then now you got to prove that's why you're not guilty or why you have
exactly. And I personally have seen that. I mean, the last disclosure that I received, there was a tracking device on my car I didn't know about. They already had my address. They had been following me, and I didn't know any of this. And they were following me all the way up north and back and here and there, and this was all going on. And anybody that I was interacting with was getting kind of pulled into this investigation.
Okay. Crazy. So we're wrapping up now, but I want you to just end it with now work life. How does it feel to be a working man getting a regular paycheck?
It feels good. the money's different, but it feels good. I'm proud of it.
Right.
I get to bring my kids to my office. I
Nice.
feel proud to get up and do something legit. And
Right.
I'm not burned out. I'm kind of like starting my life
Right.
at my first real job was
Right.
like around 30 years old. So I'm excited. I feel fresh. I feel new. I newly baptized. It's like a whole
Yes,
new.
yes.
The sky is the limit for me, and
Yeah,
and it can be for anybody else in the same position too. It definitely makes it harder. It's definitely going to be harder for you with the record than the guy without it, but it's not the end.
Right.
It's not. Just keep pushing.
There's hope in the 6. Keep watching. Stay tuned. Support positivity. Let it go viral. Legal ties. So you got that. You got the hookup, man. You got the legit hookup, man. Thanks for coming, man.
No problem.
Powerful statement. I want y'all that are watching, keep following. You know, this is what it is. This is as real as it gets. You can change. We have living testimonies. We have living witnesses. We have people that are coming out of the system and making good of themselves. Keep watching. God bless you. Hope in the 6.
At Benjamin Law, we understand the real cost of personal injuries. As the victim of an accident, you may be the one who's physically hurt, but your main concern is that your family are the ones who will pay the price. Benjamin Law will be there for you, helping, supporting, and working tirelessly to resolve your personal injury case. Call 1-855-899-4878 or visit benjaminlaw.ca and let our family of lawyers help your family.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.